Kona 4 is the same price as the Kona 3G. It is available now. And again, retail support for Creative Cloud, Final Cut Pro 10, all the things we usually do will be coming soon. The reason we announced it was we have some big partners that have announced support around Kona 4 here at the show, and we wanted to obviously support them and allow them to talk about it. Like Autodesk on the new Flame Premium, Colorfront, Codex with the Vault product, Cisco. Some of these will be in our booth. The Cisco one is H.265 Ultra HD high frame rate streaming. Very, very nice. And on the Corvid side, we have an introduction with Grass Valley, who has integrated our Corvid Ultra into their DynoZoom system. And Codex, again, seems they can't get enough AJA, which I like. And Digital Vision is also announcing support for AJA. So we'll move on to our friends, the mini converters. We have a new one here called the Hi5 Plus. And we have a product family called Hi5 that's just been hugely successful for us, bridging SDI to HDMI. This is the latest iteration of that introduces 3G SDI support, support for our mini config application, which allows users to do field upgrades and such. We have PSF to P conversion to match up to certain HDMI monitors. And we have an audio delay control from 0 to 7 frames, which a lot of integrators have been asking for. Standard connectivity, including an RCA analog audio output, which disembeds the SDI audio. So just a nice little convenient box. It's $395 and includes a power supply, great price, and that's available now. And then sort of the inverse of it, it's called the HA5 or the HA5, and that is now a plus. What makes it a plus? Again, 3G SDI, support for certain DSLR formats like 480p and 576p, mini config support, so a lot going on in this box. This time the analog audio goes the other way and embeds it into the SDI. But this is a nice flexible little box that is the same price and is also available now. Now we have kind of a cool box for us, a brand new box called a LUT box. And this is inline color transform, a very small mini converter form factor. So you load 3D LUTs to an inline 3G SDI feed and then output that stream with the LUT applied to 3G SDI and HDMI. It gets controlled on Mac or PC via our mini config application, and you can load very industry standard file types and 3D LUTs into it very easily. Also has dual link 3G SDI inputs. So for customers that do have dual link HD cameras like the Sony F3 that may want to apply LUTs to that image, you can do that easily. Also has the audio output for just convenient disembedding of audio for monitoring. So the way that you would use it, if you had a camera that was shooting log, you wanted to look at it, a different color space, you just simply plug the camera into the mini converter. The 3G SDI and the HDMI are both simultaneously active, so you can actually drive 2 monitors from this at the same time, which is really, really nice. Plug in a Mac or a PC, apply the LUT, and there you go. It's just a nice little box that will fit. I love the new keynote. Forgive me. Nothing incriminating on my desktop. That's good. Throw it across the room or something. So the LUT box is $695, and that is available next month. We think this is going to be very popular with a lot of shooters and just people looking for very inexpensive, high quality, on-set color management. We have a family of products called FS, which are 1RU frame syncs. We have a new one called the FS1X. It's a universal frame sync and converter with advanced features. The first of which is frame rate conversion, which is new for AJA. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Just a ton of connectivity on the back. Another new bit of news, as compared to its predecessors, is MADI audio support. We actually deliver it on fiber and coax, up to 64 channels on each, simultaneously. Because of the amount of audio connectivity on this, it has a 224 by 224 internal audio matrix. So you can route MADI and the AES and the balanced analog and the embedded SDI, 224 channels to 224 channels. So just as an audio processing box, this is really amazing. Standard connectivity as compared to the rest of our FS family. LAN control, which delivers the web UI to any web browser, enabling full control. Also, it gives an interface for developers to have automation control, to integrate into SNMP-based facilities, and much more. Tons of video connectivity, and any video input can obviously be routed to any video output. SDI fiber, 3G SDI, HDMI, dual rate component, and composite. So because of this, you can really convert anything to anything with this box, with the new frame rate converter. So it's very high quality, it's motion adaptive, it's designed for motion. So sports broadcasters are going to love it. It's really, really high quality. Between that and the up-down cross that's built in, that's also very high quality. You can convert formats, video rasters, frame rates, types of audio, types of video. Really is truly anything in, anything out box. It has tons of advanced AJAFS features that broadcasters around the world rely on, like HD keying, closed captioning, presets, and much, much more. AJA really stands behind our products. We build them to last, and we include a 5-year warranty. It's backed by our tech support. We feel does a really, really great job for our customers. So we don't charge extra for support. We deliver it because we feel it's part of what the customer pays for in the first place, is to get a product that should work. So the FS1X, you can order it 2 ways. You order it as the FS1X for $3,995, or with the frame rate converter for $5,495. And the frame rate converter is not field upgradable, so we're encouraging our channel partners and integrators to spec it properly. The FS1X is available later this month. And then the next bit of news we want to talk to you about is a new product called Sign On. Oh, here we are. So Scion is an English word meaning definition of illustrious parents, and every time we name a product, it's a very painful experience. But this one seemed to make a lot of sense. It really leverages the best of what AJA has to offer. This is years and years in the making for us. It's almost a 5-year effort from trying to convince the CBO to do it to delivering it here at NAB. We're extremely passionate about this product. It has everything that we are capable of inside of it. We feel it's incredibly unique in the marketplace and delivers features that we think customers are going to want. Very, very proud of it. So thank you for being here today to help us launch it. Of course, it all starts with the sensor. It's a 4K APS-C size sensor. It's a CMOS-based sensor. It is global shutter. The camera delivers 12 stops of dynamic range. Very, very nice. Beautiful images. In fact, if you stop by our booth, we had it hooked up to several, many of them hooked up to 4K monitors. You can see for yourself, just absolutely beautiful. In front of that sensor is a combined filter that has an IR cut, which improves color accuracy, and an optical low-pass filter, which removes moire effects. So as we'll talk, I hope you'll see we put so much care into creating this product. It's not just a sensor with a recorder matched on the back. It's really a very integrated, thoughtful design. Behind the sensor is a back focus adjustment, mechanical back focus adjustment, which is critical for sharp images. Put a lens on, you need to be able to dial it in that last bit. We provide that to our customers. It is a PL lens mount, which is the standard for professional glass. When you're working in 4K, you really need the best glass. The image demands it. PL is, as you know, the industry standard. There are tons of new PL lenses announced here. You can find them in any rental facility around the world, every corner of the globe. It really is the finest glass available. Scion is based around the ProRes workflow, as you saw in the video. We really pioneered that with the IO HD and the Key Pro product line, working with our friends at Apple. Scion, again, supports the full range of ProRes, everything that AJ is capable of. ProRes 444 to ProRes Proxy. We can even record up to 60 frames per second 4K. That's ProRes 422, right to our pack media, which is the same as the Key Pro Quad uses. Proven, robust media. As you saw, we also have a RAW workflow. So there's a Thunderbolt port where we can take 4K 30 frames per second out, the same workflow that we have on our Key Pro Quad. And then we have 4 3G SDIs. They're capable of delivering 4K 120 frames per second output. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. The camera supports 4K. That word is bandied about. Actually, that's 4K. 4096 by 2160 is 4K. 3840 is Ultra HD. We support that, as well as 2K and HD as well. So, very, very flexible camera. It's weird to say the word camera out loud, isn't it? For 4 years. It's oversampled from the full 4K sensor, the 2K and the HD signal. What does that mean? Absolutely beautiful images. We don't do a crop on the sensor, thereby getting less resolution, less of what the sensor has to offer. Garbage in, garbage out. So we take full 4K sensor, put it through one of our scaling engines, which are absolutely beautiful. So beautiful images. And one of the most important things is you get the retention of the lens focal length. So if you put a 50 on this and you switch to 2K, it's still going to be a 50. It's going to be 50 at HD, it's going to be 50 to 4K. It's really important. It's a camera. Camera should look like a camera. Camera should not look like anything else, and then you have to go buy a bunch of stuff to make it fit like a camera. There's 100 years of history putting cameras on your shoulder. There's a reason for it. It's because that's the way shooters like to work. So we said, hey, maybe we'll just make it work on your shoulder. It's a magnesium body. It's incredibly strong and amazingly lightweight. First time I was given one of the production body panels, it just feels like nothing in your hand. And then you try to bend it and you can't. It's pretty amazing. Out of the box, the way you see it there with the handle and everything, that camera is just over 6 pounds. That's amazing. A camera of this quality, any camera. Everything is built with the finest materials. High-grade aluminum, accessories, every mount point is made of steel. We want this to be a real tool. It's a tank. John Thorne, who's the designer of this camera, and I both have camera backgrounds. That's where we come from. We're both assistant cameramen on features. And we know, unfortunately, the abuse that production equipment takes. We would never do that. But something that calls itself a professional tool has to be built to take that kind of punishment. And Scion certainly is. We also built in some more rich features, like the handle is made of hardwood. We just want it to feel good in your hand. You're going to be holding this a lot. This is almost one of the most important features. It's got a shoulder pad. Put it on your shoulder. It's not just a shoulder pad, but it's contoured. So it's not flat on the bottom. It's actually contoured, shape, same shape as your shoulder, made of very rich suede. Very important feature. It's actually removable too, so you can pull that off. You want to put one made of leather or something. I don't know. Everything is where it should be on the sign. I will march through every connector. So there's the 4 3G SDIs, and they're configurable just like our P-Pro Quad to do 4K or HD or RAW. There's an SDI monitor output that's always on. So using Aja scaling engines, there's always on. Shooting in 4K, you're always getting HD out of that port. There's a LITC timecode input. There's a reference video input. The HDMI on the back is 2.0B to feed high frame rate up to 60p, 4K to compatible HDMI monitors. And there's a USB that will gain functionality over time. Up front, again, everything where it should be. There's 2 XLR audio inputs, the mic line and phantom powered. There's also another always-on SDI monitor output that has overlays on it, because where are viewfinders and monitors? Towards the front. Start-stop commands are issued over LANC, which is industry standard protocol. If you rotate it to the top of the camera from that point, we have a P-tap power connector right in the front. Most viewfinders and monitors obviously need power, so why not provide it right up front? Why make the user run cables or new batteries? There's an HD HDMI up front as well, and another LANC connector. So everything right up front where it should be, everything is on the side where it should be, everything is in the back where it should be. You'll also notice everything is open. There's not one proprietary connector or mount point anywhere on this camera. Underneath the plate on the back is a standard 2-pin power port. So you could plug in Anton Bauer battery plates or IDX or a world of batteries. Again, nothing proprietary. There's the LAN connector, which I'll talk more about in a minute. Standard 12-volt, 4-pin power, and the Thunderbolt connector for the raw workflow. On the operator side of the camera, again, where it should be. Not everything is a huge shoot with assistants and such. Sometimes it's one guy out there. So where are the controls? Should be on the operator side. There's a built-in confidence monitor. Also, a very beautiful UI. Just books that I just don't want to spend any time on. Just beautiful UI. So there's very simple button selections, very flat menu, and a very robust rotary dial that you select with as well. Choose what you want, turn the dial, and go. There's an on-screen menu as well on the Confidence monitor. So the LAN connector is very unique on a camera, very unique on a production camera. It allows you to feed from the Scion's embedded web server the full control UI to any web browser on any platform. It also does a real-time Confidence monitor preview streaming from the camera to the web browser. So on any web browser anywhere, over the LAN, you can see what that camera is shooting. That's powerful. It's a DIT stream. We have features that we introduced in Key Pro, like gang recording and controlling multiple units from one UI. That's built into Scion. So you can trigger multiple cameras just over the LAN, or start and stop, and configure them and see what they're shooting just in a web browser. It's remarkable. It's an absolutely open design. There are no proprietary connectors anywhere, as I said before. That is down to the mounting points. Rosettes are standard M6 rosettes, again made of steel. Cheese plates, the top and bottom, are not just interchangeable in case they get damaged, but they use standard threads, industry standard threads. There's nothing proprietary going on. No proprietary tripod plates or anything. All the other mounting points are based on 15mm rods, normal stuff. Top handle, adapters, viewfinder bracket. I'll show you some of the accessories in a moment. That enables you to use any viewfinder, any monitor, because it's open. It's all standard power, standard connectivity, standard mounting, standard video, standard audio. So the accessories that it ships with are that aluminum and wood handle with a 15mm rod. The Lank start-stop, that's actually has a 15mm hole in it, so it slides on in front of the handle or on any 15mm rod. Gives you start-stop and also has a tally light on it. And 12-volt power supply, and we also ship with the battery plate as well on the back to give you a mounting point for power plates and others. Although it's completely open, we did provide a set of accessories, like a viewfinder and monitor bracket, again, 15mm rods. Allows you to easily mount viewfinders or small electronic, small monitors. There's a rosette to rods adapter. There's a top rods mount. All of these are made of that high-grade aluminum again. Bottom rods mount and a rear rods mount. And we just tried to even put a lot of care and thought into the accessories. There's rubber pads where metal and metal are meeting, etc. Trying to build the best thing we're capable of. Because it uses the same media as the Key Pro Quad, it's a proven workflow. So we have media, 256 and 512 gigabyte capacities. This is stuff that's been proven in the field now for years. And the pack dock, you pull the media out, plug it in, into any Mac or PC that has Thunderbolt to USB 3, transfer your beautiful ProRes files over. So we have the 120 frames per second workflow. This is actually running in our booth, and it's actually been field tested by some broadcasters. Unfortunately, we can't talk about that. But if you plug a Scion into our Orbit Ultra with our TrueZoom software, you can live record 120 frames per second, 4K. HD regions of interest on them. Get beautiful 4K slow-mo in real time. Kind of a mind blower. We've been told by some very high-level broadcasters, if you only could do this, it would be the holy grail. Just give us a couple of months. So because of the connectivity, because of the workflow, because of the accessories, Scion is really the nexus point of production. You drive monitors, you drive it, so many different ways. Just an elegant, easy solution that I think is really going to turn a lot of heads. And because it's based on ProRes, it's the ProRes workflow. Works with Final Cut Pro 10, works with Creative Cloud, Avid, Autodesk, Grass Valley products, our own products, the world of ProRes compatible solutions that are out there, which grow every day. These files are immediately compatible. Sign on? What? Oh wait, there's supposed to be a 0 on there. So it's just under $9,000, and that ships top handle, power supply, accessories I talked about. So out of the box, for $9 grand, you have arguably one of the most sophisticated cameras in the marketplace. It's shipping very soon, summer 2014. Scion is real. All the ones you will see are production units. They do what they say they're doing. Come to our stand, 120 frame, RAW is working, ProRes is working. It's all working. It's real. It's coming soon. The reason we decided to introduce it here at NAB and not stick to what we were talking about last year about only announcing products that are ready to ship is because we really want to work out in the open with the broadest range of partners that we can to support Scion at launch. And we also want to set up a new distribution channel, new reseller channel, to be able to maximize the sales efforts behind Scion. That's really hard to do when you can't talk about it. There was a high level of security on this for many years. And that is Scion. We're calling it Science. We do have 2 units up here if you want to take a look. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Okay, we move into the middle.
Probably close my eyes. Oh, good. Is she here?
No, that's
Not on that one.
Not that one. This one's got the screen lit up.